There were 12 multi-billionaire speakers, so really high-level guys. Also Ray Dalio, for example, was one of the speakers. And then we also went to his house. One connection can change your whole life. So I was in Dubai and I've met a guy who told him about Bitcoin. And a few months later, we were at the mastermind and he told me like, yeah, I'm running an NFT project. So I asked him, how much money are you gonna make with it? He said 4 million. I said 4 million. And so that's the moment we partnered and started our own NFT project. And then with that, we made like, 30 million or something. I'm very big on dropshipping and I encourage people to start like dropshipping as their first business model, not because the business model is so amazing, but because you learn a lot of skills. Like dropshipping is really a huge stepping stone to the next step in your entrepreneurial journey. We bought a Lambo, me and my business partner. We wanted to wrap the Lambo in like our special color. So we asked the car dealership to bring it to the car wrapper for us. They drove out of the dealership. There was like a truck. He hit the Lambo. He didn't notice it because the Lambo is so low. And then he kept driving and then the Lambo was like completely destroyed. So that went really viral.
I'm sitting here with the $100 million man, almost $10 billion man. You started dropshipping, taught other people how to dropship. We're not a one-trick pony, even did stuff with the NFTs. You have your own new brand, where we will talk about later as well. So Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. Nice to be here.
Good. So today we're going to talk marketing, business, and sales. Yeah. Not too much self-improvement because, people have seen that from you probably already.
That's the boring stuff. Now, in this podcast, I really like that we go more in-depth into the business things.
Exactly. All right. So what I just mentioned, you started dropshipping first. We're going to skip the whole hero story. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
And at some point you were like, let me also start coaching other people and start selling courses. Most of the time there's a funny story how you got started with selling courses or online coaching. So I'm curious what was like the seed that got planted or like the moment where you're like, oh, let me sell this stuff.
Yeah, it was not like, let me sell this stuff. Nowadays, it's very popular to run a coaching business, to build your course, etc., etc. It's like getting really saturated now in the market. But back in the time when I started, it was 2017. It was not common that you sell a course. Like there were like a few older course sellers in the Dutch market, but not really how it is now. So I was actually the first one who taught dropshipping in the Netherlands. So in the Netherlands, I really know as like the dropshipping guy.
Yeah.
But it was not with the intention to sell a course. It was like I really wanted to help people. I was like the first one in the Netherlands that was like dropshipping, was like public about it. So I was like, why do not know more people about this business model? Because in America and the USA, it was like booming. In other countries, it was booming. But in the Netherlands, like nobody was talking about it. So I really found, for me, the golden egg to live like the free digital nomad life. And before that, everyone always told me like, hey, if you want to start an online business, you have to invest a lot of money. And most people will not make it. It takes a lot of time. And I found that one thing that like gave me freedom in like a few months. So that's when I started like people telling about dropshipping, helping them on Zoom calls, really showing them the business model, but not with the intention to make money.
Those were friends, or you were like documenting your journey on Instagram?
No, like friends, like classmates and stuff. Because I was in Thailand again after the holidays, so people asked me like, "Hey, what are you doing there? How do you pay for that?" So then I told them about dropshipping. And then, it was actually a funny story. Then in Thailand, in my first real digital nomad trip, I met, Mitchell Wireman.
Yeah.
And he first told me about courses. So I told him about my journey. He told me about his journey. And at that time, he was selling a course in the Netherlands about selling on marketplaces with another, Charouan, a big Dutch name.
Yeah.
And he asked me like, hey, why don't you make a course out of your knowledge? And I was like, I don't know how to do that. So then we really partnered and we did it on a bigger scale.
Got it. And then you started posting on social media. What was the first step? How did you get into it?
Yeah, the first step was we made a post in a Facebook group. It calls Asia Backpackers. And it was like it was like a Facebook, like I was a backpacker before. So I really used that group a lot. Yeah. So for example, when you're in Thailand or something in Bangkok, you send a message, hey, I'm in Bangkok, who wants to go for a drink tonight? So that was basically the whole point of that group. So I made a post with like it's a picture of me sitting at the beach with my laptop. like describing what I'm doing, like a short story. And then I got a lot of engagement on the post because it was totally new. And that was like the first marketing we did in that backpackers group.
That was a Dutch group?
Dutch group, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty that's pretty old school to post in the Facebook group.
It's called Asia Backpackers.
And that like at 2027, that's a long time. You were one of the first guys then, at least it's definitely in the Netherlands, using Facebook groups to do promos. Okay, so you did your first launch. I think I remember this story from Mitchell. You got a couple of sales in. Yeah. And what was the next step? How did you start selling more?
Yeah, so first we really milked out that Facebook group because that was our target audience back then. Because I started wanting to become a digital nomad, basically to backpack forever. That was my goal back then. So I was like, that are the people that want to travel. Maybe they want to make money at the same time, so they can travel longer. So that was our first idea of doing the marketing. So back then, Facebook groups worked very well. He also had a Facebook group for people that want to become a digital nomad. So then we transitioned to our own Facebook group. It's called like Dropshipping in the Netherlands. And then we really run traffic to that Facebook group. So that was basically the next step. Yeah.
Then you start running Facebook ads to the Facebook group.
No, not Facebook ads, like referring people, posting in the Asia Backpackers group to our own Facebook group, telling people about it. So it really grew very very organic.
That still worked back in the day.
Although back in the day, it worked very well.
It probably still works, but it's a little bit like you mentioned.
The market changed a lot in those years.
Yeah. Okay, so you started building your own Facebook group. Yeah. I guess because you were like one of the first, you also got a lot of like people who were just Googling it, and then they're like, oh, actually, this guy's teaching it in Dutch. So you got a lot of people just finding you at some point, and then
I was like the only guy back then. So if you
started before Cha, right?
No, at the same time. He was like a few months earlier, and when I met Mitchell, they had like 15 people or something in the group. Yeah. And that moment, I started as well.
All right, and then Facebook group was the next step to scale.
Facebook group, so it was very organic. So the marketing was very different because back then, it was just like, okay, you want to make money online. This is how you can do it with dropshipping. This is what dropshipping is. So that was basically the content that I was producing back then. Yeah. And I think really short after we started with webinars. That was the one thing. So like the 1 hour webinars, sales pitch at the end, and that worked very well.
How did you get into that?
Through Russell Brunson. Yeah, Russell Brunson was like teaching on webinars, and there was also a Dutch guy he called Ilko de Boer. Maybe you know him as well. Yeah. And he was really big on webinars in Netherlands. So we were also like in that market. Same with Cha, like the first one we did webinars. Yeah.
Got it. Just a short explanation. Cha Ruan, he was selling how to sell on Amazon, but then in the Netherlands. Yeah. So you kind of were like indirect competitors, kind of competitors. Okay, so you hired Ilko and you bought Russell's stuff, and then you just started running webinars, running ads.
Yeah.
Got it. And that scaled pretty well. Do you remember like what was like the best month that you did with webinars and ads back then?
I don't know the best month, but I know the best webinar. The best webinar, we did like 400K in one day. It was like, I think 2 years later, we evolved in like another business model. It's called high ticket dropshipping. So basically selling like higher ticket stuff, Dutch suppliers and stuff, 1 day delivery, all different story. And we were also, again, with the first one in the Netherlands who's selling that business model. And back then we were already really good at webinars. So at that best webinar, we did 400K in one day.
Nice. That's also the interesting thing that you do if I compare you to, I will not call any names, but other people in the Netherlands who are selling, because I followed your journey and you are really like doing new stuff all the time. You just mentioned high ticket, but at some point you also did some stuff with Pinterest, right? Because it was like, hey, Facebook is hard, try Pinterest. Yeah. You have tried a bunch of like angles. Is that just something that happens organically, or are you just like looking for that all the time? It's like, hey, what's the new?
I think that's a part of my personality, because I was like the first one in the Netherlands who did dropshipping. I was the first one who would teach about dropshipping. I was the first one who would teach about high ticket e-commerce. I was like the first one in a lot of different things. And when there is more competition and more people are talking about it, I get kind of boring. So I'm always looking for like the new stuff. Yeah.
Are you looking at anything new right now, or?
Yeah, of course. I haven't found anything like super big like at the moment for the info space. But for example, with e-com as well, like we now run a new brand. It's like a patented product, so we are like literally the only one who are allowed to sell that product. Yeah. So I'm always looking for like new market, blue oceans to be like the first. That's what I like.
Got it. So we cannot review the brand name or the product.
You cannot review the brand name.
We can reveal the niche, right? It's in the sustainability and niche. It has something. Exactly. Let's not even say which, what else with it. So let's go there. You have been doing really well. You just bought. I think you bought a house. You're here in Dubai. You're just doing your thing, but still you wanted to launch this brand. So how did this come to your attention? Did you come up with the idea yourself? Did you partner up? Like how did this happen?
No, basically someone else came to me. It's a woman and she's really into that niche. I'm not into that niche, but she lives the niche, you know. And she saw a product online and she was like, oh, I really want to sell that. I want to make my brand out of it and I want to dropship it. So who do you call? Joshua Kaats. So she called me and she said like, hey, I found this product and I really want to sell it. Can we dropship it together? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I called my supplier, sent a picture of the product, and my supplier came back to me with like, okay, we cannot sell this, we cannot source it because it has a patent on it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I looked the product online and I saw that the people who bought the product are really, really positive about it. But then I looked at the website, it was like shit, there were not a lot of reviews. So it was basically someone who invented the product, but really didn't know how to sell it. Yeah. So I looked the founder on LinkedIn. I found the CEO. I texted with him. He was based in Spain. So we were like, yeah, we are really big in e-commerce. We know how to sell your product, and maybe we can collaborate on this. So we flew to Spain, met the guy. Like, yeah, it was really the connection was really good. And so we got a trial. So we ordered like one container from him, and then we sold it in like 3 weeks. And then we really saw like, okay, there is huge potential because he got copied 2 times. The first time was from another Chinese factory, and he even sued them and he won. So I know like, okay, the patent is very strong.
It works.
It works. And the second time he got copied was by the Lidl, like a big supermarket chain. And they sold 500,000 pieces in 3 months. So crazy. That was my validation. Like, okay, this product is really working. And he also sued them. He won. So I know the patent is very strong. It's a unique product, and there is a huge demand for it. So that's how we came up with that brand.
Yeah, I'm really like disappointed that we cannot share the product, but to which I stand, because I just think this product is gonna blow up. Like, it's so great. It's like you're like, oh, I wish I had thought about it. You know, I mean, you have the same. That's why you partner up. Where are you right now in that process? You guys are selling mainly in the Netherlands and Europe, or how's that?
Yeah, we are mainly selling in the Netherlands now. We are really building the in-house team, so we have in-house creators and stuff for everything. We are testing like different angles because it's a product that has a lot of different usabilities. Like you can make a lot of different angles about that product. Yeah. So we are now finding like the right angle. We're doing a pretty good job with it right now. And then the next step is to transition to other markets like USA, because that's the market you do like the really big numbers.
Yeah. So but you want to go to the USA first, or you're going to first do Europe, Germany, all that stuff?
No, I think US. Yeah.
I mean, if you can crack that market, then it's like, I mean, with e-commerce, you can do like 5 to 10 million a month then in the US.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what's the goal with this brand?
To like bring it to at least 8 figures is like the first next goal.
Yeah. But that should be doable in Europe, right?
Yeah, it is doable, but
hard.
We really want to crack the code in the US. Yeah.
Got it. So it's working now in the Netherlands. You're running ads for it in the Netherlands. It's working. Did you also try the guys in Spain you mentioned?
Yeah, the guys in Spain sold in Spain. There's another guy who sold it in Bulgaria. So that's like the only market we're not able to touch.
Yeah.
Because he has separate agreements with the manufacturer. Mm-hmm. But he was selling in Spain mostly. Yeah.
Got it. So you guys have the deal for everything except Bulgaria and Spain.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, that's exciting. How many people are working on that right now?
Not a lot. Like it's like
one creative guy.
No, basically me, another guy. It's also a coach in the Dropship Academy team, so I bring him to all my e-com stuff. Yeah. The other female founder, like some freelancers. Yeah. So it's a really small team.
Got it. Sounds exciting. I guess we have to do a podcast in a year from now to see if we're already at 9 figures or not. Because 8 should be relatively doable. Yeah. And how are the profit margins on that product? They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. And we like decide the market, so. It's like we decide like the price point in the market of the product.
Yeah, because of the patent.
So
and this is I mean, sustainability. It's like becoming more and more popular. So it's not
Yeah.
It's only going to get better from here. Okay, cool. Is there any other product that you have launched like that was patented or that was really like branded and that really scaled up internationally? Or have you mainly focused on Europe and the Netherlands?
Yeah, the main focus for like ecom was, till this time was more like Europe.
Yeah.
So that's where we scaled hard, like did a really good job. But I think now for me the next step is go more in the US.
Yeah, but there you have to have an actual good product and
it's more competitive, it's more saturated. You have to be more creative with things. You have to be a better marketer if you want to make it there. But if you make it, it's like completely different game.
Yeah, it's like everything times 10 or 20. It's
exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting because you keep going, right? We see a lot of guys. There's even some gurus out there who, a few months later they sleep on the couch somewhere,
Yeah.
But you can keep going.
Especially here in Dubai. They come to Dubai a few months and then.
Seriously?
You
know these guys? Okay, I've only heard one story. Again, not going to mention his name, but so what's driving you right now? Like, where do you want to go? Like, why do you keep going, right? Because if you would just invest your money and live from your 10%, you're kind of good.
Yeah. But that's not the goal. Like the goal is always to evolve as a person, to evolve as entrepreneur. So that's are the next steps. I think I did a really great job the last few years in a few different industries to prove that I can make money online with basically anything. But now the next step for me is like to build something long term. So that's why I focus on the e-com brands. Also working on a new SaaS software. So to really build that like the coming years that we can potentially sell it.
Can you share anything about the software already or no?
Can I share something?
We can cut it out. It's fine if you don't want to talk about it. It's fine.
I will share that later. Yeah.
Okay. So for the editor, he will say, I will share that later in the next podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Now I lost my train of thought a little bit. So you are building some more long-lasting things right now.
Yeah.
And one of the things you do, which is always interesting, is you keep going to events.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about Tony Robbins events. You went there. Like, how was that? Did you get like the VIP tickets or really in the front row and like his sweat was falling on your face? Or?
No. I got that like a few years ago. I think the first time I went to Tony Robbins was Date with Destiny in 2019. And if you never been to a Tony Robbins event, it's really shocking. So it's really like, I would say it's a cult or something. So you walk into the room, thousands of people are there. It's like freezing cold from the beginning. Everyone is dancing, jumping. And that's not something that's usual, especially in the Netherlands. So it was really shocking to see people that are standing and yelling and everything. So in the beginning it was very uncomfortable. But after 2 days, you're really mixed into the crowd. So then it's like normal. But back then I bought like his Platinum Partner program. It's like 100K a year. And for that 100K, you can go to all his events for free. And
that's a good free ticket.
Yeah, they call it free. But you pay like 100K to be able to go to the event for free. And there are a few Platinum Partner events a year extra. And those cost like 10K. So at one event, I was a finance event. That was very interesting. Because there were 12 multi-billionaire speakers. So really high-level guys. Also, Ray Dalio, for example, was one of the speakers.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And then we also went to his house. So that was basically the most front row you can be. Yeah.
Got it. And last event, how was that? Did you get any new insights? What happened there?
Nah, it was Date with Destiny as well. And it was like exactly the same event as a few years ago. Same program, same jokes he made. So it was more like a refresher. So,
but there were no new insights?
Yeah, there are always new insights because when you go to the same event, like a few years later, you are at a different stage in your journey, so you also get new insights. Yeah.
What was your biggest insight?
Biggest insight was more like on a personal level. He really went deep on like the life you live is based on the story you tell yourself. So if you want another life, change your story. So that one keeps sticking. Yeah.
I will not ask any follow-up questions because that sounds quite personal. That's cool. So, but that's another thing that I kind of wanted to ask you about because you seem to kind of do a lot of stuff, right? You have done the NFT stuff, you have done dropshipping, now you have a brand. Like, what is like your? I mean, maybe it's not a strategy, but like, what's your approach to networking? Because I see you at a shit ton of events, places, people. Like, how did you build that up, or is that just something that comes naturally to you?
It comes naturally. I think one connection, one insight, one tip can change the whole course of your life. So I think it's very important to surround yourself with the right people that are levels ahead of you, people from different industries, people from same industries, of course. So I like to go to a lot of network events, also to maintain like relationships, because a lot of the same people are going to the same events. So it's good to keep seeing those guys. And you always learn from it. You always grow from them. So I think it's very important to go on a regular basis.
So you go to a bunch of events pretty much.
Yeah.
How do you pick these events?
How do I pick these events? I think for different stages of your journey, there are different events. So there are some events I won't go to anymore because I really outgrown some
Affiliate
of those.
World, you're probably not going there anymore.
Affiliate World, I'm not really going there. No. But more the high level events I go to. So more like the high ticket events. So the more you pay, the better the room, basically.
Yeah. So are you in Luc Belmar's program?
Yeah,
where?
Club,
Yeah. Any other programs you're in right now?
I go to Tony Robbins. Then next month is the Made Man Mastermind I go to. I was planning to go to Alex Hormozy as well. So a lot of like local events. Yeah.
Alex is in the US, right? He's not going to come to Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah, Vegas.
He's going to stay in his home turf so he can grind 24/7.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. And and that networking thing also led you into the NFT world.
Yeah.
A couple of years back.
Yeah.
How did that get started?
Yeah, so that's exactly a very good example of like one connection can change your whole life. So I was in Dubai and I've met a guy who was really big in running e-commerce brands. And I was the dropshipping guy. So a lot of people in my program were ready for the next step. And back then I didn't have like a big track record of running brands or something, but he had. So we was like, okay, let's fly to the Netherlands. Let's organize a mastermind in the Netherlands for like the high level dropshipping guys and teach them your strategies about how to run your brand. And I remember that while we were in Dubai, I told him about Bitcoin. I told him about crypto and that he should invest like a little bit of his money into Bitcoin, and he didn't know anything about it. And a few months later, we were at the mastermind and he was constantly like looking on his phone. And he was not like present for the guys. So I was like, bro, what are you doing? And he told me like, I'm running an NFT project. I'm like, NFT project, what is that? So, like the pictures or something? He's like, yeah. So I asked him, how much money are you going to make with it? He said, 4 million. I said, 4 million in what time? He said, 6 weeks. So I said, 4 million in 6 weeks. Now that 4 million turned into 8 million in 6 weeks. So that's when I saw the opportunity, like, okay, a few months ago, I told you about Bitcoin. And now a few months later, you're running your own NFT projects. So it cannot be that difficult. So that's the moment we partnered and started our own NFT project. And then with that, we made 30 million or something.
Got it. And there you used, I guess, your community building skills and all that kind of stuff. Like what kind of skills did you leverage from dropshipping into the NFT world?
A lot. I think marketing is, of course, a very big part. And that's also the reason I'm very big on dropshipping. And I encourage people to start like dropshipping as their first business model, not because the business model is so amazing, but because you learn a lot of skills. Like dropshipping is really a huge stepping stone to the next step in your entrepreneurial journey. So you learn a lot of skills like marketing, running ads, email marketing, customer support, like basically anything you need to run a successful online business. Yeah. And you get the cash flow, of course. And that you can utilize in other business models if you see another opportunity. So my opportunity was NFTs, for example, and I had the budget to set up the team. I had the budget to hire designers and stuff. I had the skills to build a community because building a community back then was really the big part. I had the skills for social media marketing, and all those skills led me to a successful NFT project. So it was not possible to do it without the skills I had from the other business models.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, it's actually interesting that you mentioned, like with dropshipping, you learn like pretty much all the skills. There's everything. A lot of other business models like starting your own agency or like sales where it's still really valuable, but if you really want to become a business owner, you have to understand at least all of them at a base level. Yeah. Which is not happening if you're only doing sales or only running, or like what I'm doing only.
Sales is good, but it's like you learn only sales,
exactly.
Not how to run an actual business.
Exactly. So it depends a little bit on where you want to go, but that's a new insight. Cool. Now you also seem to kind of figure out a way to attract talent somehow.
Yeah.
Is that also like naturally happening? And I'm specifically talking about Matthias, one of your sales manager, who's really on point, hardworking, caring, one of the really good guys. And it's hard to find talent in the Netherlands. So I'm curious what your philosophy or...
I think what played a really huge part to finding talent is like building a personal brand. So, of course, I have a name in the Netherlands, and people, actually look up to you or are inspired by what you do, and that also attracts like the right people. So I think it's very hard to find talent without a personal brand. At least in my case, it helped like a lot. Yeah. So to find the right people, really like the A players, they need to have a reason that they want to work for you, and it can be for like the vision of your brand, of your company, or you as a personal brand. And through my personal brand, I attracted like most of the talent.
Yeah. I mean, you blew up quite. I mean, you're one of the bigger Instagram accounts for people who sell coaching in the Netherlands, I guess. Is there anything that you did there specifically, like, or was it just that you were running a lot of ads?
No, in the beginning I didn't run a lot of ads. Now I run a lot of ads. It works well, so why not? Then in the beginning, I don't know. It was like I was really authentic, I would say. So now a lot of people are transitioning into coaching because it's like a good business model, but I transitioned into coaching because I really wanted to make an impact, because back then it wasn't a good business model because it wasn't that the market wasn't that it didn't exist. Yeah. So we basically created like the market for ourselves. And that was like the really big difference, I would say, back then, and that was the reason I blew up quite fast.
Yeah, and you're also quite okay with taking risks, right? Because I remember you did like this whole car giveaway. What did you give away again?
Car, Audi A5. Yeah, so that was like the car that was on my goals list, on my vision. I never bought the car for myself, but I bought it to give it away. Yeah. Funny that you remember that, because that's a while ago.
I mean, almost nobody does that, you know. I mean, now you see some people do it, but back in the day, in the Netherlands at least. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, probably in the US, some people give away cars nowadays, but you did that like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I think 2020, something like that.
Yeah. And
so we gave away a car, like everything on my goals, on my goal list I gave away. So I had a Rolex on my
Yeah, and most people don't have the balls to do that. What made you want to do that? You just wanted to give back, or you just saw like the marketing, you were like, this is gonna blow up?
Both. Of course you want to give back, but also you want to make it has to be like a good investment, right? So now it's funny because that is the giveaway linked to the 400k webinar. So it was a good ROI.
Yeah, that was definitely a good ROI then. And I think there were also some accidents that happened with your car and stuff. Yeah. Did that also play a role into like going viral and growing? Or?
Yeah, that's the reason I got my blue check mark on Instagram. Like back then, in the time that you couldn't buy it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we bought a Lambo, me and my business partner. And we wanted to wrap the Lambo in like our special color. So we asked the car dealership to bring it to the car wrapper for us. So when we picked the car up, it would be like fully wrapped and stuff. So they drove the car to the car wrapper, and when they drove out of the dealership, there was like what is a cementwagen in Engels?
Some construction job car with a bunch of heavy stuff in it.
That car drove into the Lambo.
Truck.
Truck. He hit the Lambo. He didn't notice it because the Lambo is so low. And then he kept driving. And then the Lambo was like completely crashed with like one guy in it. And luckily he was all fine. So we got a phone call from the dealership like, hey, a truck crashed your Lambo. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. So we drove to the car dealership. We went there, police everywhere. We saw the truck standing there, like the Lambo completely destroyed. So that went really viral because also now everyone has a Lambo. So if you want to like get attention, you probably have to buy like a Bugatti or something. Yeah. The Lambo is not so special anymore. But back then it was really special. So the newspapers were full with like, 2 young entrepreneurs. The Lamborghini got crashed and stuff. So it went viral. I got the blue check mark because I was in all the newspapers in the Netherlands. And then, as a comeback, we bought a Lamborghini and a Ferrari at the same time.
How did that work? Like, I guess there was some kind of insurance or something. Or like
we were very lucky because when the car is not registered yet, you get like green plates in the Netherlands. So there were green plates on the car back then. So it was not in my name yet. So that was the luck we had. So it was through their insurance and not through mine.
Got it. And then because you were in the news and all that stuff, then you get verified on Instagram, or how did that work?
Yeah.
Then you tried
you
it
could
every
ask
month?
for like verification and stuff, and then you had like you needed to have like newspaper articles or something, and then that was
You had the Lambo.
that was the reason.
Oh, that's funny. Any other funny or crazy moments that happened where you were in the news or something that helped you blew up or no?
So at the comeback, like obviously we got a lot of hate. People thought it was staged because there were like people from the news and stuff. And then I made a picture and like, oh, it's all fake and this and that. So it was very funny that with the comeback, we didn't come back with a Lambo, but also with a Ferrari at the same time. So that was quite funny.
Yeah, I remember that story. That was great stuff. All right, so we now kind of look back. Let's look forward a little bit.
Yeah.
What are like kind of, I understand maybe you don't have like a specific number with business goals, but like what are your business goals the upcoming 5 to 10 years? What do you want to do? Like if you would like look back and you're 10 years from in 10 years from now, what would make you happy? Like why were you like, okay, I did a good job. I played the video game well.
Yeah, I think the phase for now, like I reached my goals in terms of like lifestyle businesses. That worked well and all good. But now in 10 years, when I look back, I would be very proud if I can say like, hey, I founded this company, I founded this company, I founded this company, that are still active at that time, but that I exited it, so that I really played part in a bigger game.
Bigger game and sustainable, meaning that they can stay there.
Like build businesses now that last 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and you want to per se exit that, or you just want to build them to exit?
Nah, not really, but I think you want to grow as an entrepreneur and like, for example, like becoming a millionaire, like it doesn't really matter in terms of money, but the person you have to become a millionaire, that's the interesting part. So I think like selling a company, not for the money, but more for like the person I need to become to build something up and to really make a good exit, and the skills I learn along the journey, that's the motivation for me.
Got it. And that's it in terms of business. You moved to Dubai a while back ago.
2.5 years ago.
You want to stay in Dubai, or what's your vision for the upcoming 5 to 10 years in your personal life?
I really like to have like different homes across the world. So I don't like to stay in one location too long. Dubai is obviously the base, but I travel a lot to Thailand, travel a lot to Bali. Also want like a place in Europe still for like the summer. So now I'm like building up different home bases. I've got my new house in Dubai. I'm building a villa in Bali, so that will be like my second home base. So I'm like, want to create like different homes across the world that I can live in.
Which country are you considering in Europe?
Maybe Spain.
Marbella.
Maybe. I don't know.
You want to say yes, but you don't want to say yes.
I feel like everyone. I have a love-hate relationship with Marbella. Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful and stuff, but there's also a side of Marbella that I don't really like.
If you're already in Dubai, you don't want to have a second Dubai in Marbella. I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. Got it. And then you're also gonna you have a boxing competition in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to pursue? You want to do more boxing competitions, or what's
No, it's more like a personal challenge for me. I trained a long time. I did 2 competitions earlier, so one in Bali 2 years ago.
That was kickboxing, right?
Yeah, kickboxing.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do a Muay Thai competition, and this came on my path, so I was like, why not?
It's a Muay Thai?
Yeah, in Dubai in 2 weeks. But it's a championship.
What do you mean championship?
If I win...
Oh, a tournament?
Yeah, tournament. And championship. So if I win, I can call myself the UAE champion.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but okay, now I understand why you're training this hard. Like, I actually was talking to another guy who was preparing boxing competition. I'm like, maybe boxing is kind of fine.
Yeah.
Because Thai boxing is pretty freaking crazy.
It is crazy.
Are you like...
elbows and stuff?
You do the elbows, but with pads?
With protection, yeah.
The pads and the knee pads. Yeah. And headgear or no?
This one, yes.
Yeah.
The first one with headgear. I never fought with headgear. But it's like really crazy because I signed up for the competition and I knew it was going to be hard because it's like a tournament, but it's a 3-day tournament.
Yeah.
So if you fight in one night, you are still warm and full of adrenaline.
Oh man,
and
next day is horrible.
But the next day you wake up, you feel pain everywhere, and then you have to fight again. And if you win, you have to fight the day after again. And I thought when I signed up, it was like, oh, you get like matched on your level, but that's not the case. So
what do you mean matched on your level? It's literally UAE championships. You compete with the best.
Everyone can participate.
Yeah.
So I looked at the list and I was like, one guy is like 6 times Moroccan champion, one guy is like 3 times UAE champion. So I was like, okay, fuck, it's gonna be interesting.
How many people are competing?
Well, a lot in different weight classes. Yeah.
What's your weight class?
Minus 86.
Minus 86. Yeah. Oh, there will be some beasts in there.
Yeah, and it's 10 people participating in that weight class.
10, okay, that's still like 4 fights if you win. 3, no wait. It goes from 10
3,
to 5.
but I don't know how they do it, but I heard that when there are too many people in a weight class, it can happen that you have to fight 2 times in one day. Man, so it's going to be hard, yeah.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I'm happy when that's over. And nothing happens so that we can focus on making a bunch of money together.
Yeah, now it takes a lot of time. Like it's every day training 2 hours and going to the gym, going back. It eats up a lot of time.
How many times are you sparring per week? 3, 4 times?
Sparring 2 times a week.
2 times?
No, I would say 3 times a week, yeah. There are 2 dedicated sparring sessions in a week. So Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on other days we also spar like a little bit, but like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah. Okay. And on the other, like Thursday and Saturday, it's just sparring the whole day.
Yeah, like the whole training. Yeah.
You're training with a bunch of other guys that are also training for that competition, or you are?
Yeah, in the gym I'm training, there are 15 people competing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. Yeah.
And it is pros or amateurs? Pros, or there's not really a pro.
It's called amateur, but the people that are participating are pros. It's an amateur fight because of like the protection.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of pros in there. Yeah.
I mean, if you just make one round, you're gonna vlog that, I hope.
Yeah, I bring my camera guy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And any other goals outside of sports, business that you still want to do? I mean, you travel a lot, so I guess your bucket list is quite checked.
I have a bucket list, yeah. A lot of places I already been to, but there's still a lot of places I would love to visit.
What's like to end the podcast, the craziest thing or place that you still want to go on your bucket list? Japan. Yeah. It's not that crazy, but it is a beautiful country.
I heard from people that it's great. Have you been there?
No, I have not. I have a lot of people, and they all tell me you need to go for a month, and that's why I didn't go yet.
Yeah, exactly the same. I heard from like everyone that it's like a crazy place that you have to visit. So that's on top of my bucket list right now.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.